Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga, etc. and I'm here today to bring you the review for My Hero Academia episode 80. So we start things off where we left off in the last episode with Bakugo, Shoto, and Bison and Kami trying to win over these students. Last episode they were having some troubles, as you remember, but this episode they succeed. Through Bakugo's plan as well, we know Bakugo is always like the angry, kind of villainous kind of attitude towards his approach towards everything, but we find out within this episode, like, when he needs to be, he can be the smart guy, he can be the guy with the plan, and his plan within this episode is that, like, we're dealing with kids right now. We need to start making them think cool and awesome, and that kind of mentality. So that was his plan, and using their quirks, Shoto's ice and Bison's wind, Kami's glamour, illusions, and their quirks as well that they display, they are able to win over these kids. Also through some words as well, that was mostly Bakugo, but through some words they were able to win over these kids, hence completing their training exercise. But before I move on and talk about the rest of the episode, there was something that was mentioned that probably won't come into play in the series, but you do get a little bit of glimpse of world building for My Hero Academia, and that was the whole thing where we see these kids' quirks and we find out through some speech between that guy from the other school and my hero that as the generations go along, quirks are getting stronger and better, I guess, in a sense. And I think it was mentioned as well that this could lead to more dangerous people down the line, so more dangerous villains down the line, but it could also do the reverse thing as well and lead to better heroes as well. So that was mentioned early within the episode. Like I said, don't think it will come into play too much into the series because we're focusing on one generation, but it's some world building, maybe future spin-off. I don't know, it's just something I wanted to mention. So that whole thing of them winning over the class, that was wrapped up really quickly, a couple of minutes, I want to say 2 to 3 minutes, and then we have the speech outside the training center where we find out that because the other school, I forget the name of the other school, because the other school was attacked, they're gonna work closer with UH, and work closer with UH because of these continuous attacks. And it was also said that this may lead to some crossover training from the schools. So that was basically their training session wrapped up fairly quickly. I think it was 2 chapters in the manga, 1 episode within the anime, and 1 episode and a bit within the anime. So we then move on to some filler. Okay, it's not filler because it does happen within the manga, but slice of life, that's a better way to call it. Slice of life. So this episode was a slice of life episode for the majority part. And now when this happened in the manga, you have a chapter end off when you see the light guy at the window, and now this was a banging cliffhanger because for a week you are wondering what the hell is going on. And as I was watching the episode, I thought that would be a good place to leave off the episode, but when I remembered just how unimportant the stuff that he knew was, I was like, okay, maybe it was a good idea to quickly wrap this up within 1 episode. So we have that whole thing of he knows that Deku's quirk is not suitable for his body, how they are similar, and it's through this that they became closer. Okay, but with that aside, also within this episode we find out that more and more pro heroes are teaming up. We see that our class A, are thinking about doing team ups within their class within the future. We see them training as well, where the teacher was like to them, alright, cool, you need to work on your ultimate moves. If you've got the down pat, working on improving them and that kind of stuff in the nature. We see that Red Riot wants to improve on his unbreakable modes because it's not as unbreakable as he thought it was going to be. And I guess that's pretty much it to talk about this episode. Like I said, for the majority of it was a slice of life episode. We did wrap up the whole training session, the provisional license training session. That was wrapped up really quickly. Their teacher was happy with them regarding that. And now, like I said before, we could have left this episode on the cliffhanger with my man at the window and filled out this episode with more of them struggling more with the training session, and then have this next episode explain this whole I know stuff. But I think I am more in the preference of them wrapping up quicker rather than just having us on the cliffhanger, especially for anime only watchers, having us on the cliffhanger and then for us to be disappointed in the next episode. So I think they played off in a better way. But regardless of that, I don't think this episode deserves more than a 3-star rating. I'm going to call it a review. Like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please go to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.